It is what it is and it'll be what it'll be, man. That's facts on that. I'm Pacou Mutombo doing Let's get it, dog. You know what I'm talking about? You will not believe who I'm here with. For this episode, this is one of the guys I really honor, who I believe started for our generation. The B-boy, or should I just say, the dance scene in South Africa back in 2003. Bro, all I gotta say is, Vouks! Mr. No Jokes. What's going on, man? You know, I'll shake your hand, but this COVID thing, yo, man, social distancing, it is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. All right, man. Honestly, for me, it's an honor for you to be here because I know you're always busy, and I'm gonna say this guy's always on his phone. But anyway, everybody in here knows, they've seen him. That's how busy he is. So for him to actually come out and taking out the time to do this thing, I'm really honored and happy for you to be here. But with that being said, man, to the people who don't know you, just in a nutshell, who are you?
In a nutshell, I'm a Cape Flats kid, all the way from Cape Town. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's always like, I can't say I'm from Cape Town. I'm from the Cape Flats.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So,
what's the difference?
The difference is I'm not from the shiny side of, Cape Town, the mountain, I represent the hood, to put it in that way. You know what I'm saying? So, because there's a stigma attached to it.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? So
What's
it's
the
like,
stigma?
the stigma is like gangsterism, drugs. That's what it is.
Oh, I see.
But there's good people like myself, Lady D, Ramon, Black Noise, all of those people that came out of. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's very important to introduce myself in that way. I'm just a kid from the Cape Flats, Cape Town,
Doing big things.
South Africa, trying to, kind of continue the work that your Lady D's and your Black Noise and all those guys
If
did.
anything, sorry to jump in like this, if anything, you're actually one of the reasons why we know, I can speak for myself, that I know Lady D, okay? Apart from the fact that they had that a meal, I don't know what they called, BB Girls and BB
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
Battle.
Yeah.
It was a song that came out in 2002 when I started B-boying. Yes, I was a B-boy before I started pop. When I started B-boying, and I kept on wondering, who are these guys? And it's really through you that we actually got to meet your Lady D, your DJ Azul, everyone who you obviously, I believe, they were the ones who passed on the knowledge onto you.
Yes.
How did that come about? With all the knowledge you had, I know I'm about to get into your accolades or what. Just tell us.
No, like hip hop is about community basically, right? And that's how the knowledge get passed on. So it was always like, these guys would come to schools, do shows, educational programs through hip hop, and and that's how I saw them on TV, and like, I was like, ooh, what's this? Who are these guys? Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, I was like, I need to quit soccer because...
Oh, you used to play soccer?
Yes.
I used to play soccer too, bro.
I used to play soccer for the first junior team, which it was Hellenics back then.
Oh, what?
Really big team.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
man.
PSL too.
Yeah. So it's like, my boots always get, they rob me all the time, and my parents was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, guys, like, I love soccer, but I love my life as well. And then, me and the homies at school saw Take 5, and we saw breaking, people doing some moves in the cars, head spins, and we like, record. We had that one tape, that one tape,
I can relate, bro. We had no YouTube back in the days.
We had that one tape, and
you find out when they're playing it again,
exactly.
The reruns, and then you record that stuff, and then you start watching it. Oh my god.
So that's where everything started, and I was like, this is really cool. Like also like in the community, people look at you differently. Okay, you kids doing something, But the tricky part was always because if you're like in a bigger group, you're a gang, basically. So that was our other worries, basically. So going to school, it was like, no, we're not a gang. We have to explain ourselves all the time, move into smaller groups, and you know what I'm saying, mobilize ourselves around. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, I mean, like the journey, and that's what I will always represent, and I always like put the name Cape Flats, and I always, do you know what I'm saying, put that out, because, as I'm saying, hip hop is a community, do you know what I'm saying, and for me, it's everything starts with the community, basically. Yeah.
All right. So is it through that, if anything, let me actually just go with what you're saying. How from somebody who comes from the Cape Flats, as you mentioned, go from having a big dream to where, and if I can really get into it, because I met you in 2003.
Yeah.
There was a thing on SABC One called Studio Mix, and there was a move that they kept on showing this guy doing, and then we went to some after party, and I saw you do that move, and I'm like, yo, son, that's that same guy, bro. It's the same guy. I got so excited, not realizing that you guys were doing a show.
Yeah.
So I came in, the DJ switches there and all that stuff. I came in and you were pushing me out. Yeah, you guys was pushing me out. You're pushing me out like, yo, we're doing a show.
Doing a show, Pacou.
I'm like, yo, let me get in, dog. No, we're doing a show, we're doing a show. And funny enough, from there, you started 2-on-2s.
Yeah.
Then I saw you again. Then from there we became friends.
Yeah.
And then you went on to Solo Pros.
Yeah.
From Solo Pros, we knew you guys as okay, cool. The guy with the dreads, the Red Bull guys. Yeah, those are the Red Bull guys.
Yeah.
We just knew, nah, dog. Switcher and Vouks, bro. Yeah, Red Bull guys. From there, you got what did you do? Red Bulls, and then now, GDS.
Yeah.
Now you're doing GDS. So with everything that I've mentioned, coming from 2003, now we are here, 2020. What inspired you, coming from where you come from, to have a vision, to actually eventually making it happen?
Yeah. For me, it's survival basically. And you know, I don't want to go back to that life. It's not like I don't want to go back to my community, but I don't want to go back to that life basically, you know what I'm saying? And also like touring, you know, you just see the world in you know, different ways. So for us, like, you know, touring Germany, touring the whole of Europe,
Bro,
US.
You've been everywhere.
So for me, that was like an eye opener. I was like, why don't we have this back home? Why don't we have that back home? Like, you know, everybody, yes, or if you, the top MC or your top group, you want to concentrate on you know what I'm saying? And not really like, what can I kind of create to have more people involved in the culture, basically. So for me, it was like, okay, cool, we have one competition, ABC, and then Battle of the Year came after that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and then also like, I got upset because the prizes was like t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? And it was like reject t-shirts, and I was like, oh man, this is like kind of a rip-off, you know what I'm saying? Like, we practice so hard, and you live with a t-shirt basically, you know? And I was like, nah, this can't continue. So we were signed as POC, we were signed to Get Rough, where Ishmael, Zola, like, you know, that whole, you know. So it was up and down, Joburg, Cape Town, up and down, and, you know, and we decided as POC, we're gonna station ourselves, you know, in Joburg, and the record label got us a house, we stay there. Obviously, like, you already did them, they had family, and so for them it's like, guys, we're going back home, we'll be up and down, and I was like, nah, man, I can't go back to Cape Town. And then I remember we went to Chicago. We did like a show in Chicago, and then after that we went to Norway, and then it's like we went to a jam basically, and the homie was there selling tapes, and I was like, guys, can we buy a tape? We bought the tape, and then the tape that we bought was Who Can Roast the Most, basically. That was the tape.
Who can roast the most?
Who can roast the most? One of the, you know, Black Eyed Peas used to go to that jam and battle and like all that kind of stuff.
Black Eyed Peas are true.
Yeah. They're like B-boys before, you know. So the album Bridging the Gap, that you will see like they like, you know, like heavy B-boys and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was like, came back. I was like, Switch, check this out. And I said like, I think we need to start something. And I was like, okay, cool, 2-on-2s. Yeah. Why 2-on-2s? I'm like, because there's only like 12 B-boys in Joburg, so we can't have a crew.
Look, from that, you had one of the best comps I've ever gone, like, in my life. People don't understand how big 2-on-2s were, especially when you guys introduced B-Boy for our generation.
Yeah.
I will always say our generation because I was not there with your Ramon, and I saw from you guys. That's why I was like, nah, son. Chopsticks, Versatile, Shorty Blitz, Switch, Vouks. Nah, these are my guys. I need to meet up with you guys. Because I mean, you guys were on Yo TV. Every morning we watched you on Yo TV. So it was just one of those things that, you know what, whatever you guys did, we were there. But anyway, carry on.
No. Talking about Yo TV also, like, because 2-on-2s, we did it before Yo TV, right? And then we're like, okay, cool. So for me, it was like, okay, cool, what's next? It was always that, what's next? And I was like, okay, cool, you know, TV. I was like, since I'm in Joburg, you know, I think we need to do TV, basically. So we met Sipho with Cypher, met him at Rain Show. And I was like, Rain Show. And I was like, yo, that is the dude. You know, because he was actually producing Yo TV and Wild Room basically, and I was like, yo, Switch, this is the idea, let's sit down with him, you know, pitch our idea. And it's like, you know, TV schedule is changing. There's a month before they go live, and we're like, man, we missed out again. But our concept was so dope. They were like, okay, cool, let's cut that part out and just slot it in there.
See, you are, bro, let me just keep quiet.
So that's how Yo TV actually happened, you know, and you know, the production team thought like it was just a Switch and a Vouks, basically. Like, okay, cool guys, we have 2,500 a month, each of you guys. We're like, but we are a whole crew, and they're like, here's the deal. You guys do it as a crew, but this is our budget. And then we're like, okay, cool, let's go back to the guys. Explain to the guys, picture to the guys. The guys like, but we need the rent money and travel money. And we're like, guys, I believe in this and just trust us, you know. So, okay, cool, we'll use the 5,000 for petrol and whatever every single weekend. So the guys are like, okay, we're in. Oh man, a year later, we signed a 5-year contract, basically. You know,
you can make it if you push it, bro. You can make
5-year contract, #1 show in the country, like 1 million viewers every single weekend, and that's the kind of impact that I want to put breaking on, basically the platform, basically. And for me, it was like, how can we make it more commercial and put more eyes on it? It was not really about getting paid for the show. For the TV show, it was like, yeah, it's TV, but this is my agenda, basically. And then, yeah, from there, everything was just like, you know, and you know, Solo Pro was actually like a pilot for BC1 to come to South Africa, basically, the world finals to come here. So we spoke to international, Red Bull was like, okay, cool, I think this year, but you guys need to have like a pilot project to see, you know. And I mean, like, we knocked it out of the park, basically. And you know, 2007.
People are also saying, bring back Solo Pro.
Yeah, I'm saying, and for me, for me with Solo Pro and with 2-on-2, it was always like, how can I invest more into the culture, in terms of that, because that thing of getting a T-shirt was still like so in my head. Do you get what I'm saying? So PlayStation came on board, Red Bull came on board, Puma came on board, and the guys were just going bananas. They like, what? Getting a PlayStation, getting a PSP, getting games. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
Heelys, don't forget Heelys, bro.
Heelys as well, Akajo. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, everybody was in there.
Everybody wanted to be you guys back in the day, bro. I don't care. Anybody who's seeing this, who's our age, they know. Like, nah, we want to be part of that crew, though. You guys had everything. But anyway, yeah, man.
Yeah, so something like for me, it was like, how can I put kind of like a currency on dance, basically. You know what I'm saying? And when people say dance, it's not like, okay, cool, backup dancers, And that was the whole thing with POC as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, when an album get made, when, you know, anything to do from the music side, rehearsals, it was never about, you guys are the dancers. We, you know, lyrics, change lyrics, the beat, we were like fully involved, you know, fully involved. And to a point where we are in front, the MC side at the back, and like, you know what I'm saying, we were on that type of level. And for me, it was just like, that's how it should be, basically, you know, because the backbone is dance. Do you know what I'm saying?
But why do you think people never look at it that way?
Again, I will come back to, you know, how do we put a currency, a higher currency on it? You know what I'm saying? Where people can say, okay, cool, we're putting $1 million into your project, we're putting like so much into you. So I think like that's the culture that needs to change. And as you can see now, you know, like it's always like the musicians that have these amazing deals, you know, like, and that was my whole thing. I mean, like with me, just to jump, it's Nixon in creating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so this homie has his own watch. This guy has his own watch, bro. He has his own watch. Anyway,
yeah.
This is the guy that's sitting next to me, Nixon, eh? Not just any watch, Nixon. He's got his own watch, his own version, bro.
So for me, it was all about, you know, like, yes, working on my craft. It became like a background thing. Being on stage was like, yeah, cool. I'm still passionate about dance, but how can I, you know, expand the reach? You know, how can I speak to the guys in the Karoo? How can I speak to the guys in Soweto? You know, it must have the same connection, basically. You know, and for me, it was like that became my focus, basically. You know, how can we create more platforms? How can we make sure that, you know, when people search dance, South Africa can pop up? You know what I'm saying? So then, I mean, like, from breaking and BC1, and then we went on to creating Beat Battle, basically, right? So with Simba having his own event and like uplifting the culture, and then there was like a dip in it again, and I was like, you know what? I remember we were on our way to France with the culture manager of Red Bull. We had this conversation, what's next for, and I was like, I never saw an event where there's Pansula, there's all these different styles, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for me it was like, that is South Africa. You know, this thing of having all these different events, it's cool, but when are we gonna come together? And that's how Beat Battle came about.
It was a big success, man.
It was a huge success.
Why did it stop there?
So with Red Bull, with Red Bull, they ran a concept for 3 years, but we pushed it for 5 years because it was working and it was, you know, putting money in dancers' pockets, and you know, like there's so many dancers that travel overseas through that event. So yeah, I mean, like.
All right. So with that being said, man, because we're almost done now, producers hollering at me. You got GDS now.
Yeah.
What is GDS all about? What is it about? You got GDS. We got something together with people.
Yeah.
With the Connect.
The Connect.
There's a lot of things that we do.
Yeah.
What is GDS?
Again,
so people know.
You know, again, it comes to, you know, for me, everything is like always full circle, you know. Even like creating my watch, it's full circle again. You know, it's like full circle again, because for me it's like when a kid search, you know, the history and how to get to that point. You know, I'm trying to plant the seeds so that it can be easier for the person to reach it. Also, like if I want to go to a meeting, I want to look like this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? So if the directors or whoever sits across the table, I'm showing this is who I am. And guys must understand that when someone invests in you, it's not really the concept that you have. You know, it's easier and better to invest into the person. You can change your ideas, blah, 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 that's cool, but it just, and that's how the conversation with Nixon happened, basically. I told him my story. Why is it gold? Why is it black? Why is there Protea on there? You know what I'm saying? So the Protea is like, that's Western Cape, basically. You know, it does flower that's the only place where it grows, basically.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm saying?
wow.
So then it's like, why the black? The black was like the ups and downs in my career, becoming who I am today, and the gold is the city of gold, basically, to you know, fulfill my dreams, basically.
It's like a whole story
you know,
in your rest on your
no,
rest there, bro.
you know, and for me, that's GDS. You know, GDS is about how can we reverse the process of, you know, we see ourselves as if we go overseas, we become international, basically, you know. So why don't we reverse and say like, okay, cool, the world needs to come to us, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like, if you're privileged and you have the money, that's the only way that you will be able to travel overseas. And we have amazing talent, you know what I'm saying? So there's guys that can't even afford to get from Cape Town to Joburg or from Soweto to Rosebank. Do you know what I'm saying? And does that mean like they don't? Yeah, it just makes me upset.
Okay,
It makes me upset. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's what GDS is all about. GDS is about bringing the world to Joburg and to South Africa, basically. And it's working, and it's working because, I mean, like, everybody wants to go to the Lion Park, everybody wants to go to Mandela's house, Table Mountain, and it's cheaper for them to come this side as well. So that's how GDS came about, basically.
Bro, our time is up, unfortunately, but I just want to say...
What do you mean? Just joking.
We're just getting into this, man. How can I talk you up? Come on, man.
Yo, I think my wife is... I need to go and change nappies. We have to...
New father, right? How's that been going for you, actually?
You know,
how's that been going for you, especially with this time that we're going through now, this COVID?
It's been really amazing, you know,
getting tender.
because my schedule was like quite crazy for this year, you know, and I mean, like, when my daughter was born, it was just before lockdown. It was like 3 weeks before lockdown, and I was actually a little bit depressed because I was like, yo, I have so many projects into school. I was like, there's so many projects in the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna travel overseas, international. I was gonna do it all.
Yeah.
But then also the world just said, hold up a bit, you know, slow down. And it's been, it's been really amazing being a father, a new father. It's just been, and you know, it's family, so it's been amazing. You know, millions are coming in. Not joking.
If millions are coming in from being a father, I think people will be having.
No. Let me tell you something, right? So everybody that I've been having conversations with, 3 months later said, Vouks, we expecting. So Pacou.
Oh, get out of here, dude. Listen to
I don't know. Pacou.
Yeah, tell everybody, how can people get hold of you? Yeah, tell me. How can people get hold of this legend over here?
Don't call me legend.
You are, bro, my man. I'm telling you, if you guys did not start 2-on-2s in Gauteng, there would not have been a
Pacou,
dance industry.
I always say, like, I work for the culture, right?
You're a legend in the culture, bro. In my eyes. So
I'm a student.
take it, bro. How did we get hold of you, bro?
It's Vouks all across the board. Vouks.com, Vouks official on Facebook, Vouks on Instagram. That's where people can find me, you know. Pacou, thank you for having me.
No,
this is
dude,
dope.
thank you for coming, because I know, dude, I know we joked about the fact that he's always busy, but
No. I'm not always busy. I'm not always busy. That's the thing, you know. Like, and Pacou knows as well. Like, you know, if this was an interview for, you know, something that's not disconnected, I would probably say no. And I've been saying no for interviews.
Thank you very much.
For me, it's like who's on the other side, basically. You know, how the conversation will go and what we putting back into the.
That's how we have the connect, dog. That's how we're doing, putting it back.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, man. Folks, I will shake your hand, but thank you for
Thank you
coming.
for having me, Pacou.
Really,
Thank you for
man.
having me.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, man. This was
Thank you.
informative. I really hope that whoever's going to watch this, whoever aspiring kid is going to watch it from any hood, any kasi, anywhere in South Africa, or anywhere in the world, can see that anything can happen because you are living proof of that. Hence, I say in my eyes, this is a legend because I learned from him, truth be told. As big as I am, I learned from him. All right, man, it is what it is, and it'll be what it'll be, man. I'm Pacou Mutombo, and that's facts on that. I'm out of here. All right, it's done now. It's got this thing.